The craziest thing, they tagged me on Facebook. I had no idea. I mean, in August, all of a sudden, I'm tagged and I get this notification and I look it up and sure enough, there's the two skaters and they're skating to my version of With or Without You. Totally shocked. And they were beautiful. It was so beautiful. And it was really emotional for me to watch. And I had no idea who the skaters were. So, of course, I Googled them and it turns out they're like these world famous Canadian skaters. I have no idea how they got my song. This was not like a planned thing at all. In fact, I was coming off of a relationship that was really significant to me, and it had been something I'd been in on and off for several years. And so I was kind of in a really, really sad place, and I was going into the studio to help out recording vocals for another vocalist. And so she was running late, and I was just talking to my friend, Aaron Edson, because I had known him for a long time, and we had talked about dating stuff and other things in the past, and just started to explain kind of where I was at and how I was feeling, and got very emotional because I ended up telling him it wasn't working out. But the hardest thing about it for me, I think, was that I felt so torn about the whole thing, and I'd felt kind of stuck. It's like I couldn't move forward, and yet I couldn't let go. And so started crying about it and said, I just feel like I can't live with or without him, because that's kind of where I was at. And you know, he turns over to his keyboard and starts to play the chords to With or Without You, which I was like, are you serious? We are not gonna like turn this into like a moment or something. And he just said, no, get in the ISO booth. And so I went in there, and I'm just like, I did not feel at all like singing, of course. And so the feeling that every single line at this moment seemed to make sense in a new way to me than I'd ever heard the song. And it was very painful and also very sort of therapeutic. And so there's just so much pain, I think, in the world sometimes, and feeling like you're not alone in it, I think, can be really important. And there are songs that have really impacted me that I've listened to and kind of grieved to. And so for me, I thought, you know what, if someone needs to grieve and maybe feels like they won't feel quite so alone in it, if I share kind of how I felt, then that would be a good thing to do. But it was kind of terrifying because it is a very, very, very famous U2 song that is like iconic and perfect as it is. And so I kind of had to remind myself it's all about sharing your particular experience with the song. I don't think the original version could get any better, so it's not about making, it's just basically bringing, this was my experience with the song, and it was really personal and really painful and kind of scary to release, actually. But seeing them put such beautiful feeling and such heart onto their dance on the ice and their figure skating to something that had been such a painful thing for me has been amazing. It's just been a dream come true in certain ways, that, you know, that it resonated with them enough that they wanted to create something so beautiful out of it. And so it blows my mind. But someone gave me a letter at Christmas, and it had the tickets, and it had my flight, it had the tickets to watch the short program up in Canada. So I actually got to go see them perform to my version of it and then meet them after. And I don't even have words for how emotional it was and how thrilling and how beautiful. And so it's been, I think, by far one of the most profound and sacred, I think, in many ways, experiences of my life. Personally, but musically, I'm a working musician. Like, the chance of something like that happening, I know the chances of something like that happening is just, you might as well be struck by lightning. You know, that's something you can't plan. And I always love doing music regardless of, you know, where it goes. You always hope it reaches a lot of people. You always hope that. But you're happy to be doing it to whoever it does reach. So I think seeing that and seeing it affected Meagan and Eric, and then someone being so kind to donate when I don't make, you know, it's not like I can go fly out to a lot of their things on my own, probably just because it's, you know, a musician's budget. So being able to have that opportunity, and that someone was such a so kind and generous just, makes me very, very grateful.